Here we have is the opening bell.
Alert
We got
SINA
entries
dash
on
high.
SINA right now, here and now. Yes, we do. And the thing about it is, it's trading these calls off the bottom. You can see that $85 call here live. We've been open for only 8 minutes on the options, but naturally we're market makers. That's what SMF does best, is make a market. 480 a market made on a 640 high. We got a 510. We got SINA just coming off that bottom, just ripping that bottom. And once again, it's all about that
Alert
left elbow, how it sets up. You're always looking for teeny expansion. You got one
Alert
teeny, 2 teeny,
AAPL
3 teeny,
intraday
4
percent
teeny.
hat above
You got a 4 teeny
25.00.
expansion right then and there. This is live, 8 minutes on the opening bell with a 369 in play. And right up above here, once again, we're going to see how these call contracts, the high of the opening print at that opening bell was 640. The high over here was 295. They brought him down to $1.95. There was just a little trade there. But the thing about it is, it's about how this sets up here. It's about that negative trend ratio is 0.73 in our application. And we're going to see if we can consolidate it, because if we can consolidate it, we'll come back to it. We got a lot of other trades rocking off that bottom. We got price action failure. We got selling on the opening bell. Let us not forget that the Dow is down 110. The NASI is taking a 27. Look at the big haircut on these things, on all your key indexes from yesterday's rally. Once again, this has to hold half bar at 88.75. You're 88.58 by 70. You below half bar. You below half bar. Okay, you are not above that price. I just told you right here. This is it right here, 85.75, closing 12 cents below the previous half bar on that 369. That's that 12. That's that whipsaw between the buyer and the seller. Their emotions are running high. This is live. You get a good chance to watch the public, how they respond to the tape and the way that they trade it, per se, and how they don't let these things set up. And you're going to have to let it set up, because this is an options expiration. And it failed the half bar. It's coming back down to that teeny line. That's a 3, 6, 9 with the sell on the 12. When that happens, you do not want to see a reversal that many teenies down, because you don't. And the thing about it is, these call contracts are going to come down. I got 75-cent bids here on the $90 call that expires Friday. On this one here, I got bids out here at $3.20, $5.40. At $6.40 is a high. I've got limit orders here live. I've got limit orders below the market until this gets made. It failed. It spiked. That was the spike that you always want to see. The thing about it is, if the next 3 bars gap in below and you start to fall through the half bar there, well, you would have been out of the trade with the stop market order. Of course, we are going to get wholesale over here on SINA, options expiration, SINA, however they pronounce it, Chinese ADR. Okay. The other thing, MMTs, you need to be keeping an eye on the Baidu. Baidu's down to 121. The high was 123.81. Okay, Mr. Beard, that CLF trade's a nice little trade. Let it set itself up, down 86 cents. See if it fails and wants to come down and test. Here we are. We are testing. Google is holding, but, you know, we're testing this down here in this 3 bar. Right here. So let's see if it gets made. And 88.39, this half bar is 75 cents. And as long as you're below the closing half bar, right here, because it'll tell you how many pennies that was. That's 36 cents. Negative 0.36 pennies below the half until you get back above it, MMT. You're not going to put a bottom in. You have to get back above this one here. Then you have to stay elevated in the teeny line in your app. Then you'll have bigger volatility 3-minute bars. You have to have a buy bar right here, and it has to be as lengthy as this last one. This bar right now, price action, needs to do that. Here we go. This is the 3-minute bar that I'm telling you, MMT, and when I say it, I mean it. And you have to see that right next to it. Always. Protocol A. You have to see it. If it's weak, let's say it was only below half of it. that would be weak, MMT, and you wouldn't be getting in. You got to see this one bigger on that 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Just right now, I told you
Alert
that
group
this will be the qualifier. And let it be known now, MMT. And you need that spike. And you need to drop quickly back down toward the half delta from almost 3/4 delta down here. And you have to have that as a qualifier. That's number A. Number B is you better hold half of that price action bar at 89.07 or 88.79. You're 93.79. There it is. Half bar. There's your bid. He's slightly above it. Another thing that has, it's got to close above it. If it fails it, then this is no good. Because why? There's no follow through. I'm sorry, you fell down here. You were just at 45 in the IR. It tells you there. Look at how it dropped down here to 20. It's below 25. And it's all about getting that volatility, and what you have to have is you always have to have that. The second thing in B here is you must close above my SMF half bar. If you don't close above my SMF half bar on a closing level, you would have to have an immediate big, you need another one of these buy bars to go along with this one. And you can see how the wick is coming up. But you must have, and you must close above it. And it's here, it's live, it's now, it's for all the new MMTs to use this video as we've been getting these entries here. Take a look and review, wholesale. So you came down here, you made a low, but this is what you must see. You must see that as a qualifier. When you came down here, you immediately came back up. Now, this always has to happen. If it doesn't, you would be taking a stop market order because it would be weak. But it's not right now. So you got a little bit of cushion. It's not a closed 3-minute though, but you can stay in it, MMT. And it is meeting a secondary qualifier on how to get the SMF Pro Trader entry at a wholesale bid, making a market as a market maker between the public. And so what are you doing? There's a market at price levels that are being made. And so MMTs, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing here and now, live. And it's not a closing bar, MMT, and it's all on the opening bell. All right? And it's all in a 3, a 6, 9, 12, 15. You're starting in the 18. All right? In price action, 18 minutes between the public here and now. Here and now, MMT. And qualifiers have to get put in here with the app. You're a market maker. You must have a closing bar above this half bar. And the half bar MMTs are going to be down here in your control panel. You'll be able to see it, 88.79. It's 96 pennies by 89.04 pennies, MMTs. And it's very important that you follow this direction. And you must have on this bar right here now. Now we're going into a 21-minute bar. You must have a big fat bar breaking up through here. You must get right here, 55. That's a huge IR spike out of nowhere. And this is the qualifier. And this must happen because you must know, MMT, that is exactly what had to happen, and that reversal going down had to happen, which equated into that 3-minute buy action bar that had to come back off of the bottom to qualify. And you better get above 90 here. You better pop above 90 here. And you better stay above 65 in order to keep that price action moving, MMT. You all are in the apprenticeship program right now, making transactions and qualifiers. And this is live here and now. And you must not be in denial. I said you got to get above 90 over here. Are we in reality, or are we going to deny this? Do not deny this, because if you do, you will not reap the rewards of the qualifier.
SINA
It's called a market maker qualifier. Look at that thing go. He better stay above 90, otherwise he's not going higher, and you'll have to learn when to sell into it now. And this is a live trade for all new MMT enrollees here and now in a June 15th options expiration monthly. And you're getting to witness the volatility. You're getting to witness the live entry at the wholesale bid. And that's exactly what you're getting, because that's exactly what you deserved. And you had to know what the qualifier of that was going to be. MMTs. We are now open 20 minutes. We're going to come back to this because MMTs, this is your live entries right here. Here and now. Look at that baby go. Oh my goodness, it's at 100, and that's exactly the qualifier. And when you're net long, when you get net long, you got to have that 3-minute buy bar. Then you slide it, but you close above half bar, and you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teeny breakout at 29 pennies a teeny. And you're thromboning at 95. Now, let's talk about to learn how to exit the live move now. If you don't stay up above 95, you need to be selling half of it into the move. See, there you go. It's 97. It's got to stay above 95 because in order for it to be super, super strong, you're going to stay above it there. You want that thing to burn at 100. That's how you get up through that teeny. And this is here and this is live. Let's don't be in denial. Let us not be in denial.
Intraday percent at below 50.00.
It's price action. And it's making that left elbow and the qualifier and the breakout. Now, you got to learn how to sell into it. And it's okay with me. We get along that way. Not a problem. You sell half always into the top of that move. As rule 1, break it out, sell half. If I come down, I start to slide below the teeny line, I'm just coming out of it and taking all my money. Yes, it's very strong at 85, but it's not above 95. Let us not be in denial about price action, please. MMTs. Will, you see that move?
That was beautiful, sir.
And you got in
I
it?
Followed it down to the leather. Yeah, I got in.
Okay.
I made $56 and I jumped off.
Well, no, you got to let these things run just like it was. You want to know how to let these things run. And everybody does. And the thing of it is, once again, this was the primo live entries, and when you start getting up here, you see how you stayed above 85 on this teeny line right here? Because when you held above 85 IR, and it would bounce back to 98, 95, and it made it up through another teeny, another 29 pennies. Selling into the part right here is always proactive to do. And then, how do I know when something is turning rapidly here? You never have an urge to want to sell anything, because you never will. Next person up, who else did the SINA trade here?
I did.
Okay, Fritz, tell me how you did it. Tell me where you got in at.
Okay, let me get that for you here.
Okay.
I sold part of it, so it changed. Let's see.
Well,
I got in.
Were you going through the qualifier? Do you understand a left elbow gap down qualifier now? Do you understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you understand the closing bar above the half? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you understand the teeny expansion breakout equals very strong, hardcore price action momentum? Do you understand when you expand, you go higher and you're much stronger, Fritz? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me where your entry was.
8901.
8901? My goodness, man. You took that breakout bar, Fritz?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me?
Yep. There's 100 contracts. You said to sell half, so I sold 50 of them right there. And I still got 50 running.
On the contracts?
Our
shares?
Stock, yeah.
Okay, so you got 50 shares of stock. So let's work with that entry. So we got 50 shares open. You sold half and took some money off the table. That's what I'm hearing. And we're going to see if we can keep running. As long as we can stay elevated here in your application, if you go to the IR line, and in the application, it's going to show you how expanded it was. These readings are very high right here in the IR. Okay? And you want that, well, right now the IR is at 98. So you got 99, 97, 96, and 100, right? So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. Right now you're printing at 90, though. So you're back below 95 again. And you still got 50 shares, right? I would say you start, because you're not going to, you will hold the teeny line just like you did here if this stays above 85, Fritz. If it starts to weaken, sell the other 50 shares. And just give it a little bit of time. You know, you came all the way back up. This is the famous SMF left elbow SMF market maker entry and understanding how to use the SMF market maker platform. It sounds like to me, Fritz, when you come up for review, that you're doing quite well. And that what was going on here, as I was going through, we were doing it live here, you got the confirmation and you made your transaction accordingly.
Correct.
So you got an A+. And the thing about it is, what we are going to do up here at the highs is just remember, eventually you will have to deflate down a couple few teenies. But as long as this is staying at 100, we're going to keep our other 50 shares. And remember, the IR didn't go below 85 here, because it didn't.
Right.
At that line.
And
that's the key. But you don't break these highs unless you get this to 100 now.
Alert Google Delta
Meaning that is the top end of the price unless this goes to 100 now.
Delta.
All right. Excellent entry. Who else did an entry?
Hill.
Alert
All right,
CLS
Leo,
intraday
you're up. Tell me what you did.
75.00.
Come on.
I put the day limit on 87.75 out there to buy.
Right.
And for some reason, I was assigned at 88.62.
Well, now on your
quite
paper
figure out why.
tradings, listen, you know where your entry would have been. It did not hit 87.75. You were within 35 pennies of that low from 91.95.
Actually, I kept trying to see how that would work. I tried a couple more times. I got in at 89.24 and 88.59.
88.59 is right here in this wick.
Sure.
So let's go through this part of it. Now, when you were being told what the market maker qualifier was, did you understand the ascending strength in the application that would tell you never to sell it? Except coming out of some of it up here. All right? So tell me what happened after that. You added to the position?
Well, I was really glad to see that that first tall green bar there. And then
this one?
The qualifier to stay in. And then the adjacent one didn't go below the half bar, so
it did not close below the half bar on a closing bar.
And the IR stayed above 65. That's when it really took off, about 60s.
See how we're breaking the highs now? I'm listening to you.
Sure. And when it started getting up there, and then the IR started to tick down, I put in a stop market at 91.50.
Oh, okay.
And it did tip below that,
nice. 99.
I was assigned at that, so I got a real nice profit. All three of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you feel empowered in the entry? Did the application guide you as a market?
That was great.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm looking for to do this another 1,000 times here before it broke.
And you'll certainly get your chance. Now, Fritz, you're coming to 85 now, and the reason why you broke up through the teeny line here was because you did get to 100 now, and we were just there in the IRs. And you'll see you were 96 IR here. So it got to 100, but now it's fallen below that last 96 here. You can find it in your info panel history, Fritz.
Okay.
Anybody, and you would be, now, you got to stay above it. No, you got to look at here. You have to start coming out of your other 50 shares.
Okay.
And you're selling at the top. So got to know when to be the buyer here, and you got to know when to get out of the last. So you sold some up in here, and now you're coming out of the last half of the trade, right, Fritz?
Yep.
Job well done. One of the things I always like to tell people is the execution is also very important. And when you're actually in your live execution boot camp, it's very important to experience these as a new MMT entering the trading division, because it's going to make you very proactive in your transaction. MMT. Okay, here we are. You know what price you would have been executed at. It doesn't matter. Okay? And learning to work the controls is important in the buys and the sells and the stop market orders. So when you were up here, so selling out because you're below 85. And we said you would come down a couple of teenies, and selling the last part of the move at the high was the right thing to do, and that's exactly what we did with this trade. We let this thing break out. We let this big one run. As soon as it started getting up here and getting weak, we started selling a little bit. The IR stayed above 85, and it continued that last 369 price action, and qualifier 1 is now it's the opposite. It's red. That's something that you don't hold on to, and it tells you how to sell up out of the highs for now. And that is the SINA trade. Was there any other new MMT that did the SINA trade that hasn't said anything yet?
Yes. I did. I'm actually in short right now.
All right. Did you go long off the bottom, yes or no?
Yes, I did. I actually got in on the second qualifier, not on the first.
What was your second qualifier? What price?
89.50.
Oh, that's right here at that, taking out that top over here, which is nice, with the diamond alert. And you had your, so can you tell me why this worked for you? Please.
I actually tried to get on the lower level, and it missed me, so I figured I was going to wait to see if there was a confirmation for it going long, so that's what I did.
All right, the important thing for me, young lady, is that you are learning the left elbow, and you're learning the qualifier to the entry, and that the entry is not an emotional event, because it's all precise as we understand it, and we were looking for that momentum, and it was truly there. And selling up right up here, breaking this half bar, and you just shorted a little bit. Well, that's nice. Tell me where you exited at.
Right now, I shut out at...
Oh, on the short. You shorted that down.
Yeah, you want to know where I exited on the way up? I did bad, Mario. As soon as I saw the resistance, I got off the ride way before I got to 100, and I was like kicking myself. I got off at like 90.
You didn't let the application work. You were see what your behavior got you versus the application's behavior? You see the difference between your
Let me tell you what I was thinking in terms of the application. I was actually watching it in contrast to that red bar.
Where? Here?
The big red bar.
Where?
Right, that's
are you talking about the long side or the short side of the trade right now?
The long side of the trade.
Okay. And which red bar?
Right, I got in at 89.50.
Okay, that's right at here at the breakout.
And I really should have stayed till like
right here,
90.70 east. Right. Or even further. So I got out way before. I got out at like 90.10, literally in the middle. You know something, Mario? Your chart does not look like mine.
Uh-oh. That's all. That's really simple. Now, we all go through this together for one reason. Because it's very important that now we have a record of what happened, and we have a way to do what? We have a way to perfect it now. To perfect it. And that is where the growth comes in. All right? And another thing that you need to know, I'm going to have to call this guy because I ain't liking this. The indexes. Listen, you're bouncing big off of the bottom. That means that the bull is going up and the bear is in a reversal. And when the bear is in a reversal, stocks are going to be strong off the bottom. And this is options volatility, the data that, and this is what I'm telling you about the left elbows. That's what they're doing. They're doing that in 38 minutes across the board. Because it's a call options expiration. And there was great moves. I'm going to have to show the moves here on the SINA call now and why they paid so much money at the wholesale bid. And when the bear and the bull, you should have up in your application, should always have this. Here. Now, let me show you something. Put in TQQ. And keep it there. And keep a chart always. Keep it off to the side somewhere. You don't even have to look at it. If it's strong, then you know that equities are strong. That's all. Now, why isn't it loading? There it is, right here. This is the bull right here. When that bull was left elbow, then that means the SINA trades, the Google trades, the Amazon trades, the Soho trades, a lot of the internet leadership in Apple, leadership in internet stocks. What are they going to do? They're going to go higher. All right? And I'm going to tell you now. And you don't need to have to look at the chart. You've got this right here, MMT, the most powerful thing in the world. What is that? I can show you. Right here. You got your symbol minder. Look at here. I can see the damn thing right here. Not populating at the moment. Let me see what's going on here. What do you guys got in an IR? Here.
85, 84.
Is that what you have?
SINA, right?
Then that means no. I'm talking about this TQQQ. And I'm telling these new MMMMMMMTs that they will listen to what I am saying. And then you will have this, and you will have it where you can see it here. When it populates, and you can see everything here. When this is doing that, then look at here. When that's doing that, that's doing that, that's doing that, and that's doing that. You keep your focus on that. That and that and that and that go together. This is live, and this video is for MMTs because this is the way that you must do it and learn it. And it's all going to be about the bull left elbow gap down here. And that ascending, and when that goes that way, then the stocks like SINA go that way, Google goes that way, Apple goes that way, and the bull is strong. When that bull comes down, take a look at the other one. That's going to be the SQQQ bear. That goes along with all of your trading, and this tape is live. But the thing about it is, we must stay focused, and you must do this here and now. Here we are. Part of what the MMTs are going to be learning as a protocol is that the bear, that's called the SQQQ MMTs. That's the bear. Now, the TQQQ, which is this chart here, that's the bull. And it's very important for you to be very coherent, please, because in price action volatility, one was a right elbow gap to a sell short here on the bear. When that was happening, the bull had the big left elbow gap down. And how do you incorporate it with the SINA trade? Because this is all related to the SINA trade. And the thing about it is that when you were coming up off the bottoms and that bull was going that way, SINA was breaking higher. And I can show you that right here, Amazon left elbow, and we did a big fat trade, same thing that SINA did. But this one just blew. Look at that thing. And I told everybody this morning, all my MMTs, is that this left elbow, Same thing that SINA did, same thing that everything did, but notice how the bull was going higher. We're going to conclude it, and we've done a lot of protocols. You've written down lots of things, MMTs, and it's very important that you follow the protocols that you are writing down. And then as we work through these together, making markets, you will become a huge person that makes a really good salary. Meaning that your net monthly incomes will be at levels that you will be comfortable with. Because you're able to take the SINAs and the Amazons. Here, the SINA trade, it's just very important for you to know that directional price movement is going to be directional price movement. And I'm just going to show that the Google trade was not nearly as, and this is the Google trade right here. Off the bottom, left elbow, it comes down, it clears the half bar, same thing, bam, and then it rolled over Beethoven, okay? Google trade's different than Amazon, and SINA, well, on the other hand, we already know what that did, but let's take a look at some other ones that may have done things on the same opening bell, where let's take a look and see if Apple could have possibly been lagging the whole move. Let's take a look at Apple. It does have a left elbow gap down, and it does have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17 expansion. And remember, we are 2 minutes away from the first hourly trade, MMTs. And we went, so it's important to know these are all buyable and sellable, making the market. It qualified. It didn't close below the half, but you were not going to make as much on Apple today, like yesterday was a good day for Apple. But today, all of that movement yesterday when we traded it to the high side was all great, but that was yesterday. Today's today. And once again, I'm going to conclude the tape, MMTs. Does anyone have anything to say? Are you happy to be proud of this? Are you happy to be proud of learning the trade management?
Yep.
Yes or no?
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
I'm happy to be part of it.
And
Precision
the happiness.
to it. Yes, sir.
Well, okay, so we're learning how to take advantage of it. That's good. And the important thing of it is that directional movements, this made the bottom here, and it's bounced up, and that's the bear. And there's your bull. The best way you can see them is just simply load what you need, and then you'll be able to view them here. And you will see which one of the two is which one is weak or which one is strong. You'll be able to see where all your names are at. See SINA's below 45. Did I have to go pull up the chart on SINA? No, it's got a reversal. Okay, it was minus a half delta at 89, 3/8 delta at 89.85. You know, right there, by looking at that number, MMT, of what you are showing in when you go to your brain up there and you click the little buttons on your application behind there, this is printing it for you. You don't even have to go there and open it up. It's printing it for you right here. You know what it means. You know what all of these were left elbows. They're all down. 7/8, down a half, down 7/8, down a fourth, down 3/8. That's the conclusion of the first hourly trade, 6/15, 2011. Options expiration. Markets gap down huge. Left elbow action came into play across the board.